Scotland Yard drug squad, and his name used to be Sergeant Chief Inspector Norman Pilcher, and he's now serving 6 years in jail for planting dope on people. Now, he happened to be the same guy who planted dope on me and John Lennon. Look, the point is, being a famous Beatle, you're not going to come to a famous Beatles house with 14 cops and dogs to search the house for marijuana and leave there and say, oh, I'm terribly sorry, we made a mistake. That decision is made that we are guilty before they even left Scotland Yard, if you know what I mean. It's so silly. The thing about that was a plan. I say, come on, that was not mine. I don't go hiding dope in shoes under cupboards.
Right.
And it was the biggest slab of hash I've ever seen. I've never even seen it until he had it there, and he had all this stuff out, polyfiller and incense and stuff all wrapped up and sealed. Anyway, he thought he was Oliver Cromwell, and he wasn't,
In England, the punk thing was more than a fad.
I think even in England, it might have lasted a little bit longer than it did here, but it was a fad. But that's desperation that came out of. You have to appreciate, England to realise why the punk thing happened, I think. Those kids are sort of brought up not such good education, poor surroundings, and they're trained to become working in factories, maybe bolting on hubcaps or something. And it's out of that, the desperation of, so naturally the thing is to try and destroy everything else, around with the music. People have been saying to me, well, what do you think it's going to be like in the 80s? Well, I know the 60s, we and others worked hard to try and generate that positive feeling. And then in the end of the 60s, it sort of went a bit strange. And then the 70s just scattered around, and it was a bit one fad after another, but nothing really long-lasting.
We worked over and over on the songs in the studio so that everybody got the right routine. And it was sounding really nice. And then in the control room, Phil was in there with the engineer, making it sound like, this noise. The first track
Phil Spector Wall.
Yeah, well, the first track we ever did, it was this song called Wawa. And it sounded really nice in the studio, all this nice acoustics and piano and no echo on anything. We did it for hours until he had it right in the control room. Yeah. Then we went in to listen to it, and I listened to it. I just thought, I hate it. It just is so horrible.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, I said, it's horrible. I hate it. Eric said, oh, I love it. So I said, well, you can have it on your album then. But I grew to like it.